please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA, gateway to the 7 scene lands of the Magic Kingdom.
Welcome aboard the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. This is Justin Monorail, back once again with my Monorail family here at the table. Let us introduce them individually, starting with
Samantha Monorail.
Samantha Monorail.
Who isn't allowed to yell in the microphone, but Justin is.
I back up when I yell in the microphone.
Okay. Don't yell in the microphone.
Great. Take 2, going better than the first one. Thanks for being here, Samantha Monorail.
As always.
To my left.
Chicken.
Chicken nugs. Garrett Monorail, Skelligummy everywhere in the room. And finally...
Oh, me. I'm sorry, that was really funny.
I just said chicken.
Amused Monorail.
My back is really itchy.
It is.
Wow.
To give you a little peek behind the scenes, this is take 2 of our introduction because for some reason I didn't record the first one, but it was hilarious. Until McKenna decided to say inappropriate things.
I never.
And then we had to cut. But now we shall introduce the podcasting and radio professional amongst us. The one who knows you don't speak until you're introduced.
Among us.
He's my favorite and yours. Landon the Dawsdone. Landon, welcome back to the Monorail and welcome out of podcast jail.
Yeah, it was a tough 2 weeks inside on the cling. As I was about to pledge to several gangs. I didn't know I could do that. I was going to spread out, be amongst the people, but not sus.
You're feeling kind of sus.
Ooh. Report!
This is bad.
Everyone to the dining room.
No.
The dining room.
Everyone to the dining room.
Wherever you're supposed to go when someone's kind of sus.
Oh, God. The dining room.
It's the cafeteria.
No,
Yeah, I
that's
was
where you
doing
dine.
my chores. That one thing where I moved wires up and down. I definitely am not the murderer. If you don't play Among Us, this makes no sense whatsoever.
No. Mom doesn't play Among Us.
don't.
And this makes sense to her.
I also am posh Among Us, and I report to the dining room, not a cafeteria. Thank you very much.
Ooh, classy.
Fancy.
I'm Baby Among Us.
God.
Garrett is Scary
No,
Among
I'm
Us.
going to be scary.
Okay, you can be
You're
scary.
sporty.
No, Landon's Sporty Among Us.
Oh, we don't have 5.
Ginger. Garrett's Ginger Among
Oh.
Us.
What are we talking about? I don't know.
Spice Girls.
We have crossed the stream several times.
If you want to commit murder. All right.
You gotta hit one of my friends.
Only when it's on cooldown, then you can report.
No.
Wow, off to a hot start. I like take 2 a whole lot better than take 1.
I really like how much the kids are cringing right now.
See, it's the best part of parenting. I don't even have to have kids. I can make small children feel uncomfortable. It's fantastic.
Yep. That's just like the creepy uncle that you are. Oh, man. Well, we're glad to have you back, Landon. I was actually thinking the concept of podcast jail is interesting to me, and I wonder what types of characters you would meet.
I want to have a podcast in podcast jail. It's an underground podcast that they're
it's like
trying
the
to hide
Shawshank
from the
podcast
police
jail.
officers.
I like it.
Well, I don't want to bring up Shawshank.
It's
so.
like pirate radio in podcast jail.
Sad movie.
Do you do more push-ups while you're in podcast jail?
Yeah. You work out a lot. You would probably meet Prison Mike.
I'm Prison Mike.
I got Shawshank confused with Schindler's List for a second there.
Oh.
I'm okay
Yeah, two
with
vastly
Shawshank.
different movies. Vastly
Shawshank's
different.
fine. We can make that one's
Yeah.
fine.
Shawshank's a prison movie. Schindler's List
It's
is
sad.
a sad movie.
Sad.
Both good movies, but vastly different movies.
Very different. Very different. And Yeah, I mean, I would recommend watching them both for the holiday season.
No.
People say Shawshank Redemption's like one of their favorite movies of all time. I don't really understand that
Me
because
neither.
Yeah.
Kind
it's
of
all right.
boring.
it's a bit of a trudge,
It
in my
makes
opinion.
me wonder if they've ever seen Hot Rod.
Oh my
Stop talking.
What?
Please.
Or Dumb and Dumber.
I mean, come on, those are classics.
Yeah.
Or that one movie Kelly Clarkson and that other guy from season 1 of American Idol did.
From Justin to Kelly. Don't act like
There
you
it
don't
is.
know the name of it. You love it. We all love
I do.
it.
They
we
act like they haven't-
we celebrate it all the time.
They
By
act
the way,
like
as you're listening to this right now, no matter when you're listening to it, there is a 25% chance Shawshank Redemption is currently airing on TNT.
Yeah.
They act
No.
like they haven't seen Shark Tales.
Isn't it a shark tail or something?
I don't know.
I don't think it's plural.
It's the one with where the fish look really weird.
The one
With Will
with
Smith.
Will Smith.
Will
That one's
Smith
such
in
a good movie.
And they're trying to find Nemo.
I don't know if it's a good movie.
No,
but-
it's
They
really
act like
good.
they haven't seen Osmosis Jones.
All right.
Yeah, that's a deep cut.
We're having a good time. I hope you're having a good time. This is episode number 135 of the
Yeah.
Monday Morning Monorail podcast. It is November 23rd, 2020. It's Thanksgiving week.
I did my Thanksgiving shopping.
I thought you were going to say it's Thanksgiving, and I almost had a little heart attack.
People could
Thanksgiving
be
today.
actually traditionally. We do very low numbers on Thanksgiving week. I don't think people listen to podcasts when they're out of work on vacation. But, you know, we do worse at Christmas. So that's why this episode we can say whatever we want.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Just
I
kidding.
can't. I've
Just
been
kidding.
censored already.
You are censored and turned down
I
because
was
you
gonna
keep
say
yelling
I
in the
have-
mic.
I have things to say.
Don't say it. Let's hold off.
Say nothing.
Save that for your podcast in jail podcast.
That's right. Save it for the podcasting jail podcast. I said exactly what Landon said.
You did.
I'll say it. Save that for the podcasting jail
feel like
podcast.
Yeah,
I'm
that's for the podcast and jail podcast.
I'm in a room full of parrots.
Mom,
Weird, I got an echo. You guys hear that?
Jail podcast.
Whoa.
Satan showed up and said it. He wanted to
Satan's in jail? In the podcasting jail?
Of course he is.
We're about to hang out later whenever I go to jail.
You're going to jail?
Podcasting
Going to
jail.
podcasting jail?
I think I'm
life
going to
sentence.
podcasting jail.
I know McKenna is because she said bad word apparently.
Yeah, she does all the time.
No.
Like Garrett does when he's playing Among Us.
Oh my gosh, Garrett has
Play
the
Among
mouth
Us.
of a sailor.
Hey,
I played Among Us like twice.
why don't we talk a little Walt Disney
Popeye the
World?
Sailor.
Let's talk a little Walt Disney World news while we're all here together in the name of Disney podcasting before we all get thrown in podcasting jail. We always like news as it relates to opening more restaurants or new food offerings and things like that. So I've got some of that to kick us off here. The Crystal Palace will reopen on December 13th, 2020. Not a buffet. It will be a family-style experience without characters.
What?
So my question is, why go?
It's not that good, people.
That's rude.
I mean, if you just ask them for chicken nuggets and macaroni and cheese, which is not how I eat usually, but that's about the only thing that's worth eating there, I guess it's okay, but it's not worth $60.
I'll be honest, what they're saying they're going to offer sounds pretty decent. They're going to offer crispy fried chicken with honey pot drizzle, because Pooh likes honey. Fire roasted prime rib of beef, because Piglet likes eating beef. And fried cauliflower, because Rabbit likes fried cauliflower.
Of course.
You can start making reservations on December 1st. Also, the Tomorrowland Terrace is coming back December 17th, 2020.
Are you kidding?
It will feature an updated menu, including lobster rolls. I expected a different reaction.
You obviously didn't give me a pause to respond to the menu of Crystal Palace, because you're telling me they have 2 proteins and a fried vegetable.
The menu will include those things. It's not exclusively those things.
They might have steamed broccoli.
Yeah.
I'm sure that would be an option if you asked.
Okay,
wonder
keep
if they have
going.
steamed
Where's
ham.
this lobster roll again?
The lobster roll will be at the Tomorrowland Terrace. They will also have grilled salmon.
Salmon!
That's how we pronounce it.
The L is very emphasized in salmon.
And New England clam chowder.
Excuse me, Chef Justin.
Yeah.
Is this lobster roll made
Yes,
with
chef.
mayonnaise or butter?
Yes, chef. I'm sure it'll be a cold mayonnaise lobster roll. You like hot mayonnaise, McKenna? That's weird. That was a weird reaction to cold mayonnaise.
That's gross.
You just don't like the idea of cold mayonnaise?
I don't like the idea of mayonnaise.
Oh, okay.
I like...
That's how they make lobster rolls.
Why? What about butter? Butter?
Butter.
Butter. Garlicky butter on lobster with bread.
What? Okay, I'm not bad.
Oh,
Sorry.
she's having a breakdown over mayonnaise.
Obviously.
She
Why
doesn't
are you
like
calling
mayonnaise.
me out? I just thought hearing it was made with mayonnaise was shocking to me.
Why?
Well, that's how it's always been since the
Mayonnaise is
beginning of
kinda
lobster
gross.
rolls.
Have you
is
ever
kinda
eaten like a
gross, yeah.
spoonful of mayonnaise? It's not
Ew.
good.
You don't eat it. You
Why?
don't eat it
That's
by
not
itself.
how you're supposed to eat it. It goes on things. You don't eat a ketchup with a spoon.
You don't eat
ever
a ketchup with a
eaten
spoon.
Ketchup. It's
Not
not
on its own.
It's not as bad as mayonnaise is. Okay, I'm sorry. My bad. Continue.
Derailed
The
by
menu of
condom.
Terrace sounds pretty okay. I mean, and I'm a fan of the chowder when you pronounce it that way. So I mean, if I'm being honest, I think the updated menu sounds better there than at Crystal Palace.
It's a little strange. It almost just sounds like they've taken some Columbia Harbor House items and put them
Yeah.
at the Tomorrowland Terrace.
Yeah,
I thought that too.
Maybe they just feel like people don't want to walk all that way.
I guess. Yeah, it's a shorter walk if you don't want to go deep into the park.
Here's a fun story. Whenever I was younger, this older man told me that he worked at a seafood restaurant in New England as one of the cooks, and everyone raved about the clam chowder. And he literally opened up giant cans of Campbell's.
That's a relief. I didn't know where this story was going.
Either.
Why was an older man talking to you?
Hey, little girl.
You want some of my chowder?
No!
Just like we used to make up in New England.
Y'all are dumb. I worked at a dentist office, and he sold supplies to our dentist office.
Did they come from a can?
Yeah, why? Or was it actually Campbell's soup?
Some of it.
He just went to the dentist office and dropped off giant cans of Campbell's soup.
Here I am, Ralph, your chowder man. They go to the dentist for me.
Every dentist office offers canned clam chowder.
But they won awards for their clam chowder.
At the dentist
And it was
office?
Campbell's soup.
Dentist office.
Y'all are dumb.
Best clam
Yes.
chowder amongst dentist office. Listen, the best way to win an award is to create your own category, okay?
It's true. I think that's very, very true.
I think we should start a new podcast focused on clam chowder, and I bet we would be the best clam chowder podcast in the land.
You know what? Look
Oh
it
my
up.
God.
There's probably a clam chowder podcast.
Well, what if we're a Disney-based clam chowder podcast?
We won't
after
have
it.
much content.
We would have like one episode.
What if we review clam chowders from dentist offices?
I'm done with y'all.
I can see the merchandise right now.
Hey, little girl. I used to work in a seafood restaurant. It does not sound good. The setup to that story.
Well, I didn't want to go into this long backstory of how I knew this man, but because I didn't think it was relevant. But now that I know that you guys are dumb, I'll do that next time.
It's taking you 135 episodes to figure out we're dumb. Come on.
You need context.
God.
And finally, in Disney's Hollywood Studios, Woody's Lunchbox reopens on November 25th.
What?
Yay.
Tachos?
Tacho.
Nachos and tarts and
No.
clam chowder.
Oh, at the dentist office.
Peter.
That's this Wednesday.
Hey, they should open. Why isn't there a dentist office in Disney?
Because you can just, go to nearby Celebration, and I'm sure there's a dentist office
It's not
there.
the same.
Why would you want to go to the dentist when you go to Disney?
Why would you?
In case of an accident.
Yeah, people get toothaches. People break teeth.
I'd go. I like getting my teeth cleaned.
Let's say you want to square up with a cast member, but they knock a tooth out. You got to go to the dentist.
And then to Disney jail. And as we talked on this podcast, you don't want to go to Disney jail.
I don't recommend, squaring up with Wreck-It Ralph.
Ooh, he will wreck you.
I feel
right there
like
in his-
I could destroy him because he's top heavy.
No, he would hit you and you'd collapse into little cubes.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, that would be cool. That'd be a good way to go.
No, it wouldn't.
Oh, then you could put like her heart together and be like, it did exist.
Oh, you're so mean.
Wow.
Wow.
In the article you have linked, I think it's interesting that Woody's Lunchbox, there's no mention of an updated menu or anything. It's going to be different. So I assume, unlike
'cause it's
the
perfect.
Terrace and Crystal Palace, it'll be just business as usual for Woody's Lunchbox.
I hope so.
I do too.
Perfect.
It does
Yeah.
have a very good menu. Breakfast and
I love that
lunch.
place.
Yeah, it's very good. Underrated quick service, in
The
my opinion.
Reuben
Amen.
is amazing.
The hot chocolate flight is so good.
The tachos are great.
The big giant Pop-Tart things, I love those.
Yes. Oh, the raspberry.
Yeah,
raspberry.
that's good. And you can get a beer there.
Yeah. Well, hot chocolate flight, it has like bourbon and whiskey and stuff in it. Yes.
At Woody's Lunchbox?
Yes.
I don't remember
Mom
that.
got that with, was it Allison?
Yep. WDW mini bar. Oh, yeah.
Well, we can add something else to my ever-growing. The next time I go back, I need to try that list.
Oh, man. I didn't realize. I guess I missed the hot chocolate flight before it closed.
Yeah,
But-
it's delicious.
awesome.
Yeah. So, good news. Restaurants opening back up.
And I love, like Sam pointed out, Woody's Lunchbox is opening on Thanksgiving Eve.
I know. Well, I feel like we should go.
Well, they have a delicious turkey breakfast sandwich, so that's just in time for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Ooh, there you go. Very
Yeah.
timely.
Yeah.
You guys better get used to turkey breakfast sandwiches because I'm making a big turkey and there's 4 of us.
You know what we're also going to need? We're going to need to be walking.
Bread.
We're going to need to be walking off some calories after Thanksgiving. And a perfect way to do that would be to experience the grand opening of the walkway from Disney's Grand Floridian Resort to the Magic Kingdom.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, it's open now. It starts near the Grand Floridian Convention Center, accessible alongside the quick service restaurant and marina. It takes about 10 minutes at a brisk pace. I walk at a brisk pace, so.
Me too.
But of course, your mileage may vary, this article says. Most people, maybe 15 minutes. And you get to walk over this cool new bridge. The bridge goes over the canal that they use to, like, I think they store the electrical water pageant stuff, like, down this canal. Mm-hmm. So they had to build a bridge to go across that water, and then you can make... So now, technically, you could walk from the Contemporary all the way around to the Polynesian. Like, you could do a huge, big...
Monorail loop.
Yeah, you could monorail loop it. You just can't go from, like, the TTC to the Contemporary. There's no way to do that. But but it's like a horseshoe now.
I mean, if I ever get to stay at the Grand Floridian, this is a plus.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever get to stay there, though,
However,
because Justin never takes me.
you're not fancy enough to stay at the Grand Floridian.
Oh, yes, I am.
No.
But when you are staying at a monorail resort, it's tough to choose walking over monorail. I'm just going to say.
I don't know.
I would do it for recreation, but then, like, you're going to go to the park, you got to get on that monorail. You got to do
You gotta
it.
go to the park, but if you're going to be leaving at the end of the night when
Yeah.
everybody wants to get on the monorail, I would like to have the option. Like, I'm just going to take a brisk walk, as they called it.
Yep, I agree with that. After hours, who wants to wait? Although usually the resort loop doesn't have quite the line. Not nearly
That's
as
true.
nearly as bad as the express monorail, but it's still an option, and I think it's good. And I like that people have the option to walk it. It'd
They
be a
should.
nice walk.
They should build a bridge from the Grand Flow to the Animal Kingdom.
Park at resort.
Park at
Might be a
resort.
big
Walk
bridge.
out of park,
Walk out of park.
straight to car.
Straight to car. Problem is, can't park at resort unless you have resort reservation or restaurant reservation at
We
resort.
could lie.
How would they know?
They ask. They
Well,
have
we
security
say,
guards.
"Oh, my friends are here," and they'd be like, "What's their name?" You gotta just make something up.
Ralph Ralferson.
Smith? Smith is their name?
There you go.
John.
That's a common one. Williams?
like-
How about that?
Oh,
John Doe.
Claire? And I'm like, yep, I'm going to meet Claire Smith.
John Johnson. is
John
his name?
John
Johnson
Johnson's
is in
dead.
this resort.
John Johnson's dead. Okay,
I'm still not okay hearing that. It breaks my heart every time.
it was really sad. He came on the show and died. It was very upsetting for
Did
everyone.
we cause that?
Thanks, Rona.
The autopsy never came back. They lost it, and
His
This-
body just disappeared.
This sounds like a cold case. I can't wait to hear about this on the next season of Serial.
oh man, cereal.
I love breakfast cereal.
Are we branching out and promoting other podcasts now that
People
aren't
know
Disney?
Serial's like the original podcast.
Cereal's amazing. We listened to it in school, in my English class, like once a week until we were done with it.
Wait,
and we
in school?
ate cereal. No, back when I was in school because I'm a little bum.
That's the original podcast?
It started way back in like what 2009 or
That's
something.
the
It was
first
super
one?
early.
It was one of the first large scale podcasts. Of course,
Yeah, that had a lot of crossover appeal to people that
Yeah.
weren't listening to podcasts.
Well, then you lied to me.
you've got like
first.
you've got Serial, and then you've got WTF. I think was one of the first ones. Mark Maron's podcast, and I mean, there's a few that can claim like to be first mass distribution podcasts, but I think Serial's up
Bill
there.
Simmons,
Serial.
when he was with ESPN, Grant Landon, now I think he's doing his own thing. They've been podcasting for well over a decade at this point.
The Jimmy Pardo podcast, I think, has been around a long time.
Do you guys know who invented podcasting?
Mama,
John
yo, mama.
Podcast.
Dang it, too many people rushing to make jokes.
It was Adam Curry, who's a former MTV video jockey. I
He
don't
doesn't
know.
even
What
have
year?
podcast
Give
in
me a
his
year.
name.
2004.
2004.
Uh-huh.
What was he
And-
podcasting about?
MTV.
His brother's Steph Curry.
He should have a podcast where he rates
don't-
curry.
Oh,
Curry on Curry.
I like Curry.
One-on-one with Curry. That's a good one. One-on-one with Curry. Hosted by Steph Curry, eating curry.
Yes.
This is a good suggestion.
I'm glad we're recording this.
I hope Steph Curry hears it, because we know he listens to this podcast.
Yeah.
Of course,
Obviously.
Yeah, it looks like, I don't know what the first ever podcast was.
I bet it was about dinosaurs.
It
Well,
looks like
Serial
it might
was
have
definitely
been,
one of the first true crime podcasts.
Yeah, for sure.
It looks like it might have been Secret Voice.
Well,
So
how
yeah,
did-
that
how did
ditty we all
anyone-
know and love.
How did anyone hear that?
Oh, wowie.
I'm on a roll. I'm like lobster and mayonnaise. I'm on a roll.
Lobster and mayonnaise together is awful.
I'll host from here, Justin. You've done enough
But
damage.
eating a bunch of butter wouldn't be great either.
I think I'm going to podcasting jail, guys. Bad
Very
jokes.
spacey.
Let's move on. We are now going to talk about what's going on over at Epcot. So on the live show on Tuesday, we were talking about some of the virtual D23 updates. One of them being that the Harmonious barges that they've constructed are starting to make their way out onto World Showcase Lagoon. I made reference to the fact that when McKenna and Garrett and I were riding the Skyliner one day outside of Epcot, we saw this large construction, kind of behind Germany in World Showcase, that looked like a Stargate.
It was in the forest.
It was like in the forest behind, just open area behind the World Showcase.
like
It was in a
Egyptian gods are
forest.
going to come through it.
It looked like a Stargate from the sci-fi show Stargate.
Ooh,
From the movie. Starring...
we're going to get a visit from Raw.
I don't think we need
No, it's not an
that,
Egyptian thing.
And I don't think that, yeah.
I mean, it's 2020. It was bound to happen if you think about it.
Anyways, we saw it. We didn't know what it was. I assumed it might be something for Harmonious. I think I said at the time, but I didn't know for sure. It has been confirmed. It is a giant barge for use during the Harmonious
What's a barge?
show. It's like a big platform that carries objects out onto the water. It moves real slow, usually pushed by like a tugboat.
It's like a boat.
Yeah, it's perfect for hanging out with your friends and drinking on.
Okay. Well,
just like every surface of every place in the world, I think.
Enough people gather and you give them enough time, they will start drinking on it.
Yeah. So, anyways, these barges, they're going to incorporate, of course, they're going to be able to launch fireworks from the barges, but they're also going to be like big fountains because they're going to use like some of the water screen technology like they have in Fantasmic and different things like that as part of the show. Apparently, they're going to also be used during the day for a daytime fountain show in World Showcase.
oh, so they get rid of
That's
one
cool.
fountain and they think they can replace it with another fountain.
Kind of.
No, there's just several fountains. My only concern about that was I assume they'll be wheeled in and out for the shows because otherwise that's going to be kind of an eyesore for what's a pretty iconic view of just looking out over the water as you go around the world.
That's a good point. because it will definitely change the view. I would assume they will kind of like float them out there at the required times. But if they do like multiple shows, I wonder how fast these barges move.
25 miles per hour.
Oh, and by the way, I said I thought it was like a 3-story Stargate. It's 6-story.
Wow, you
that's
were half
tall.
right.
Whoa.
Yeah. It'll be the central barge, 6 stories tall. There will be a water screen formed with the water originating in the ring, and then it can shoot fountains off of it. Each of the surrounding barges has a 25-foot double-sided LCD wall, and across all 4 perimeter barges there are 54-foot moving arms.
Dang.
These are pretty like massive constructions that they've made for this show. I don't know, who knows if I'm going to be a fan of Harmonious? Who's to say?
It's probably gonna look cool, at least.
I will say, I can probably tell you right now, I will like it better than Epcot Forever.
Yeah, that show sucked.
I didn't think it was that
Epcot Forever, the one that everybody loved.
And the one that lasted not forever.
I like the kites.
Oh,
Just going by the technology of this new one, it's at least going to look cool.
Yeah.
But maybe the message won't be too good if it's anything like Epcot Forever.
Well, the only thing we really know about the Harmonious show is that they're going to be incorporating like songs and images from Disney animated classics and Disney films throughout the years.
That's worrying.
Talking about how storytelling and music brings us all together. So this isn't like a story like Illuminations used to be, which is a lot more about, hey, all the world, we're all one people. We should come together for a common good of moving forward and all this sort of thing. This is just going to be like, hey, remember these fun songs?
I mean, in this political climate, how well do you think we're all when people really resonates?
It's something that needs to be said,
It
obviously.
seems like Epcot now keeps doing this thing where they show a bunch of like Disney stuff and then they're like, it's okay though because we can say a bunch of cool words like storytelling to make you think we're talking about all like old stuff like we would have talked about in the old Epcot,
Yeah.
talking about how the storytelling has evolved, but really they're just talking about Disney storytelling.
Disney storytelling, yeah. It's true. It's a lot reminiscent to me in what they said they were going to be converting the Spaceship Earth story to, where like they were going to be converting a lot of that to how storytelling brings us all together through time, which it seems very similar to the Harmonious theme, in my opinion. But they were also, that more than likely you were going to probably get some IPs into Spaceship Earth when that happened, I would imagine. Oh, and speaking of changes to Spaceship Earth while we're on it, this is something else they announced at the virtual D23. Spaceship Earth is getting an upgraded lighting package. Have you heard about this?
No.
So in addition to them upgrading the lighting for the new fountain and just the entrance plaza in general, they're going to be upgrading the lighting that we currently have on Spaceship Earth. First of all, I want to say the lighting is perfect on Spaceship Earth.
yeah, they don't need to.
As it is today.
Yeah, wait, they can't take away the pink and purple because that's perfect.
It would be cool if it could change colors.
Are they talking inside or outside of Spaceship Earth?
Outside.
Okay, I was about to say, it's like, it's perfect on the inside. There are times where it's like, okay, I know I'm supposed to see a woolly mammoth, but I don't, so I'm just going to pretend I do. All right, I was confused there for a second.
Yeah, no, I agree. The inside sometimes is a little dark. But no, I think it's going to include like these twinkle lights that are going to be all over the outside of it.
What?
That could be cool.
I'm going to show you what the concept picture looks like, and you tell me what you think.
Oh, that's pretty, though.
See, it looks to me, and this is very visual, great for a podcast. But based on and I'm not even going to tell you where I pulled this article up because I don't want to give them a plug, but it looks like not only are they using the external lighting shining onto Epcot, or onto Spaceship Earth, but they're also maybe in like the joints where the little pieces come together have like twinkle lights all over it.
It seems like that.
I don't know if that's what it'll look like or not, but that's kind of what it looks like. So they're saying upgraded. I don't know.
I think it looks pretty.
I mean, maybe.
As long as it doesn't, I don't want it to affect how it looks during the day. Like, I don't want it to suddenly look like, what if it looks like it has extension cords all over it?
I would be so mad.
Surely,
that'd be less than ideal.
surely that won't happen, but
I mean,
I'm open to the idea.
yeah, I maybe, but I'm fine with them doing whatever they want to the inside. But the outside is pretty nice.
I feel the opposite way about it.
I think they should replace the triangles with the same shape, but they're mirrors instead.
Ooh, can you imagine the ants?
I know, we would be the ants.
Yeah, we would be the ants. Yeah.
Burning up.
Don't stand in one spot.
right? Might get a little
Keep
torch.
people moving so they'll stop like just standing in my way.
There would be signs like all over that area. Just run.
Keep moving.
Keep moving. Do not stop.
So I found a article. This is the Disney food blog talking about Spaceship Earth, which, by the way, is not a cake. And here's a quote that they got from the D23 Expo. They put it in the article. It says, speaking on the push for more color at the entrance to the park, Ridley, who is Zach Ridley, a Imagineer for Disney, said, one of the defining features of this transformation and for all of Epcot is color. He then spoke about a new programmable lighting design that will activate this area of the park like never before. It will connect Spaceship Earth to its surroundings and perfectly encapsulate the park's transformation. This means Spaceship Earth's gorgeous nighttime pink and purple, yet static, color scheme we know and love could get some major love. Ridley mentioned custom programming, which seems to imply that the colors would change in real time, similar to how we see the Tree of Life and Cinderella's Castle.
Well, I like that.
I think so. On the picture that you showed us, it kind of looked like when people do oil spill colors and paintings and stuff with all the colors. And if it was like an oil spill of colors around Spaceship Earth that just kind of like moved around the Epcot ball,
Yeah.
I would be okay with that.
That could be cool, but also they could like on Christmas make it red and green if they can change colors.
Yeah, they could do that.
What
Make it a
if?
little more festive.
What if they're trying to put projections on?
Yeah,
Well, I
don't
think
want
that
projections.
is going to be part of it. That's what it seems like to me.
Like have Ratatouille running around.
No. I love Ratatouille. I love the rat. I love Remy. Love Emile. The
Yes.
whole gang.
Yes.
Those are my rats.
The whole gang.
I don't want them on the Epcot ball. I don't want anybody on the Epcot ball except for me if I'm sitting up there with the birds.
What if they like in the projection like unscrew one of the triangles and a bunch of rats come out?
Oh my gosh, that'd be kind of cool.
Good.
I don't think that it should happen. I do think that would be kind of cool because like when they lift up the tile and
Yeah.
then...
The rats.
Disney, are you listening?
But don't do it.
This
Well,
is
we know Steph Curry's
free.
listening. So, Steph Curry, could you please pass a message to Disney?
Does he?
I mean, it does sound cool, but I'm not going to lie. I'm getting a little bit of the vibes from like, at the turn of the century when they put the sorcerer's hat on the Epcot ball. And then it was like, wait, no, it was just 2,000 above it. And
Yeah,
I'm open to the idea of them trying new stuff, but like just the Epcot ball or Spaceship Earth, whatever you want to call it, is so iconic.
Yeah.
Like I'm open to them doing things to it, but don't mess with
Yeah, don't mess with it.
it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait. So
They should put the sorcerer's hat on it, though.
I agree.
It'd be a big old hat.
then why isn't it a problem that they do projections on the Tower of Terror?
I'll tell you why. Because the Tower of Terror is not the park icon.
But they do it on the palace.
They
too.
do
For me,
Cinderella's
it is.
Castle.
No, I'm talking about
the Chinese theater.
Chinese theater.
They
For
do
the
do
show.
projections.
They did projections for the show.
So maybe they're going to do an Epcot ball show.
Yeah, that seems. If they're doing projections on the Epcot ball, it would be a show.
I think it's like just changing through the night. You know how Cinderella's Castle will be one color and then it kind of fades to another color?
Well,
and
that's
then-
not really projections, then that's just
It is.
colors.
It is kind of.
We were
projection.
talking about like character projections.
I know that, but they're not going to do that.
Gosh, you said not yell in the microphone, and you do it all
God.
the time.
I'm canceling this podcast.
Also, in my heart, the Tower of Terror is the park icon because when I think of Hollywood Studios, the Tower of Terror is like the first thing that comes to mind.
I agree with Garrett.
For me, it's the Earful Tower.
It's too bad we don't have what?
Exactly.
It's the little tower that spins on
No, there's no Earful Tower.
I'm so confused. Oh,
It-
I'm thinking
It
of
was a
Mickey.
big water tower with Mickey ears on
Yeah,
top.
I
Thinking
saw
of
that.
Mickey.
I know what it needs to be, what they need to do to the Epcot ball. They put the hat on it, and then they put 2 mini balls on there, and it's a Mickey head. That's an Epcot ball.
People would be so mad about that.
I have a better idea. Next year, when they bring the NBA back to the Disney bubble, they
No.
make a giant Steph Curry, and he can be dribbling the Epcot ball.
That would
Or
be
the
fun.
Epcot ball could
Perfect.
just have a skin on it. It's a basketball.
Yeah, when he's dribbling it,
How do
No.
you know he listens to this podcast?
because
He
everybody
does.
does.
Oh, okay.
We're huge in the NBA, don't you
Yeah.
know?
Robin Lopez told the rest of the NBA about this podcast.
Our Disney king.
Phil Jackson listens to this podcast because he is a guru of coaching.
I did have someone at work ask or say to me, "Oh, I'm like the biggest Disney fan of all time." And I said, "Do you know who Samantha Monorail is?" And they said, "Who?" And I was like, "You're not a Disney fan."
That's right. You're not a Disney fan if you don't know Samantha Monorail.
And I've never told anyone at work that I do a podcast.
Well, of course not. I wouldn't either. Hide your shame.
I don't want them listening to me. They have to at my company, but not at home.
They're listening to the podcast at your company?
Whoa.
They
Yeah.
play it it's like morning announcements.
Oh, no.
That's why they call it the Monday morning monorail.
That's why they call it that.
Oh my gosh, we
Monday
need
morning
a,
announcements.
we need a xylophone so that way.
Bing, bong, bing.
Yeah.
That's NBC.
That's NBC.
Yeah. I thought that was the joke.
I didn't mean to do NBC. Okay, last thing, and this is the final debate of today's episode.
We're debating.
When the parks reopened after shutting down for COVID in June, right? They opened in June.
Yeah, something like that.
One of the restrictions was no park hopping. Why? Well, because Disney was limiting capacity, they're doing temperature checks, trying to be very careful about who comes and goes in the parks, and if you've got park hopping going on, you can't limit capacity as effectively, and plus you're encouraging people to stay in the parks longer, in my opinion, which maybe isn't a great idea when there's a pandemic in the world. As of January 1st, 2021, park hopping is back at the Walt Disney World Resort.
Am I allowed to just show up again?
No. You still have to have a reservation for your first park, and then you can park hop after 2 p.m. if there's capacity in the park you want to go to.
Everyone's going to Epcot.
Exactly. You nailed it. That's the problem. So you might look at the here. Okay. All right. Soapbox. Here we go. I set it up and now I'm going to say my piece. One of the things that, or one of the maybe unintended consequences of them not having park hopping was that people weren't as willing to travel to come to the parks right now. I know they need the parks open. Disney employees need jobs. They're losing money as it is because Disneyland's not open and they're limiting capacity so much. I get it. People have to work. So you want them to be doing this in the most pragmatic, responsible way possible. But immediately following Disney's Q4 earnings announcement, where Bob Chapek shared with the world that they lost $1.1 billion in Q4. Fireball.
Yeah, that's,
They-
what I
That's my
said.
gimmick.
They announced that number one, they've increased capacity to 35% in the parks. And number two, they're allowing park hopping. All the while, a global pandemic is going on and we're in the midst of a spike. Larger than the initial one. So you cannot tell me, and I'm very sorry, I'm very positive about Disney typically, but I'm not happy about this. Because you can't tell me that this decision was made with guest safety in mind. It wasn't. This decision was made to encourage people to travel, to encourage people to stay in the parks longer, and to hopefully impact their bottom line, which I get, but the timing could not have been worse to make this choice.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know about you, during the first initial wave of this, yeah, we heard of people getting sick. In fact, we think we may have had it in this very house.
Yep.
Yeah.
But in this second wave, this larger winter wave that we are going into, it's like people all around us are getting it.
Our, like, close people.
Yeah, people we know, people we're close with, a lot more public figures are announcing they have it.
Yep.
So now, is it really the time to be encouraging people to travel more? That's my question.
No.
I don't think so.
I understand what businesses do. I have, like, the business brain as well. I understand why they need to make money and all of that. I get it. But it is kind of hard being in the entertainment business like Disney is, but also trying to keep people safe because they do have to make decisions of what's more important, our bottom line or people's lives.
Public health. Right.
Yeah. And quite honestly, if you could step outside of that business mentality, you'd realize that people are more important than money, because lives are invaluable.
Yeah, but businesses aren't people. Businesses can't get COVID, so they're going to do what they think is best for the business instead of what's best
and
for
the
people.
the
time and time
stakeholders.
again.
They have to have the
may not-
stakeholders in mind.
You may not realize that you just said something very controversial, McKenna.
I don't care. I will say it.
Well, the thing about it is, the counter argument is if they continue to bleed money, there may not be parks to go back to. Mm-hmm. Right? I get it. I understand. And I know that we have to start working our way back to full capacity. We have to start working our way back to park hopping. I just have a problem with the timing of this. Them doing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're getting close to a vaccine.
Right.
A couple of them, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
One funded by Dolly Parton.
Woo, we
Yep.
love Dolly.
Queen
Praise
of
be to the
America.
Queen.
Yeah.
I love Dolly.
Dolly is
Heck yeah.
the queen for sure.
Stream Dolly Parton on Spotify.
They should name that vaccine some biggins. Because I love her. And she knows she got biggins.
She's aware.
I don't know. I mean, like, one of the things that we saw in a previous administration, trying not to get too political here, was there were companies that are too big to fail, and I'm pretty sure Disney falls along those lines, and they could definitely get a bailout if they wanted to. They could hold off for 6 more months whenever this vaccine comes out, because they are probably too big to fail, and they could get a grant from the government to remain open. I know they could.
Yeah, I personally believe that Bob Chapek is feeling pressure from the fact that he is the newly in the CEO position.
Yeah.
And he's got to be getting pressure from the board, getting pressure from the shareholders to start turning this thing around. I get it. I just don't know if this was the way. That's kind of a Mandalorian quote.
Yep.
I don't know if this was the way.
That's the opposite of the quote.
Yeah. What if he said that? I don't know if this is the way.
That's like the twist. It's like a season finale. He's like, he's just in his ship and he stops. And he's like, I don't know if this is the way.
And Baby Yoda's like, woo!
And throws up again.
Oh my god, that was the cutest throw up I've ever seen in my life.
Ew, it was disgusting.
It was so cute. I wanted to hug him. I was like, oh.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
Yeah. So
Is Scrappy Doo the evil Baby Yoda? Okay, never mind.
You know, I think Baby Yoda is already the evil Baby
I've never
Yoda.
seen someone retract a statement so quickly. Wow. I think we should ponder that question.
No, he shouldn't.
Is Scrappy Doo the evil Baby Yoda?
That's deep.
Don't talk about it.
I'm pretty sure, like I said, I'm pretty sure Baby Yoda is the evil Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
He's just a baby.
He ate the eggs.
Babies are evil.
He's a 50-year-old
He's
baby.
a baby. He's an evil.
He only cares about eating.
He is an evil.
It was so cute when he was stealing.
Don't, spoiler alert! People may not have seen it yet.
Have you guys seen Scooby-Doo movies. We can talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about
I said
Scooby-Doo movies.
spoilers. You need to censor that.
Oh, I love Baby Yoda.
I'll listen back, and if I feel it's necessary to bleep it, I'll bleep it. But you got to give like a couple weeks for people to see things. And then if they haven't seen it by then, they're not true fans. You can spoil whatever you want.
I have a meme where Kevin Hart is in a Baby Yoda costume. And he's like, it's hot in here because, he's so short.
But what if he was in a Scrappy-Doo costume?
That would work too.
You'd have to have a mustache because he'd be the evil Baby Yoda.
No, Scrappy-Doo is a little jerk face. I hate that jerk.
He's pretty bad.
He's like, I'm gonna pee, and then he pees on something. What did he pee on? I don't remember.
No,
I don't
he's
know.
a dog. He pees on everything.
No. It was like it was part of the movie with Matthew Lillard. Shout out to Matthew Lillard.
Power. Okay.
Yep. James Gunn wrote and directed those movies, and James Gunn later went on to write and direct Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a Disney property. Tie it back, Jay.
Yay,
Wait,
good
James
job.
Gunn, if you're listening to this podcast, is Scrappy-Doo the evil Baby Yoda?
That's a good question. I'm glad Garrett asked it, not me.
Yep. He's asking the hard-hitting question.
He asked that question, not
Yeah.
me. Good
No, you
question,
didn't.
Garrett.
Okay.
I take full credit.
I mean, do you guys have any other? I mean, I know I went on for quite a while about my thoughts.
Yeah, that's usual. So I think that it is a bad idea because by 2:00 everyone's ready to eat and drink, and there's one park that we all know is great for that.
Well, plus Animal Kingdom's closing at like 5 or 6 o'clock, so
Right,
people
yeah, you're
people aren't
not
going to
gonna
go
go
there. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't gotten a boarding group for Rise by 2, you're either
not going
leaving
to
Hollywood
Hollywood,
Studios or not going to Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
I mean, like in the Facebook group, when you posted this story, I posted the meme, urge to Disney intensifying. And it's like park hopping is a big draw when I come down there because I do want to go to multiple parks, not just park, no pun intended, in one spot for the day. But at the same time, the numbers are going in the wrong way, and they're vastly going in the wrong way. And it's like, even with the park hopping being available in 2021, until stuff settles down, until the vaccine comes out, as much as I want to go down there, I'm not going to, and it does feel kind of irresponsible. I mean, I do understand it's a business and their business model can't sustain with what's going on right now. But I mean, like, that's just unfortunately kind of the situation the entire world's in right now. So, I mean, I'm torn.
Yeah, me too.
I'm excited that it's coming back, but at the same time, I do think it's a little irresponsible.
Yeah.
People would wear their dang masks, and they took this serious in the first place.
Right.
People aren't even wearing their mask in Target down here.
Yeah, it's crazy. I had a healthy debate with our friend Jeff, our Canadian friend Jeff, about this over the weekend, and he was saying that one of his milestones for starting to plan his next trip back was when they brought park hopping back, which I understand. Like, if you're traveling in, you're going to be staying for a while, especially like from a long distance like Canada. That would be a factor. Like, you want to be able to park hop, you want to be able to get the full experience. I get it. I'm not trying to take Disney away from people. I'm not trying to like just totally crap on a company that, for the most part, I've been a huge fan of things that they've done. I've praised their efforts in the parks for the social distancing, the mask usage, the limited capacity, the lines, but everything that they've done, the plexiglass everywhere. I've been pretty positive, and I've said in the past that I have felt safer in Disney parks than I have in most other places going out during the pandemic. But you start cramming more people into the parks, it just starts, you're going to start getting to a point where it's harder and harder to social distance. The more people you have in there, you're going to have more people not behaving and not minding the signs and listening to cast members. And I don't know, like World Showcase on a busy day was already getting cramped. So
I was just thinking, when you guys live streamed the video of you guys walking around the World Showcase in the Facebook group, that was a lot of people. And that's with, I believe, before they increased capacity. Am I right? Yeah. I mean, like that seemed like a whole lot of people, to the point where it's like, again, I just said I want to go back, but it's like I would not feel comfortable in that mob of humanity. And then you're going to add like Sam nailed it when we started talking about this. Everybody's going to go to Epcot after 2 when the park hopping opens because they are hungry. They do want to go drink. They do just want to chill out, and that's kind of what you go to Epcot to do. A combination of those three. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Not feel great about it.
Right.
Yeah, and by the way, like, not park hopping is actually kind of a good thing because so many people are coming down here with these high expectations of getting everything done. And we keep telling everyone it's a lot more fun if you slow down and enjoy it. Have fun with your family, eat some more food, like go to the shops, just do a few rides. I understand like trips are not as frequent, but when you're rushing and then hopping to other parks, trying to get so much done, you kind of lose the fun a little bit. And so it's not bad if you come down and you can't park hop. It doesn't make your experience that much better. I personally don't think.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's like I kind of feel like you guys are playing at an advantage that a lot of people don't because, like, let's just go back last year on my first trip. I didn't have an AP. So in my mind, I was thinking that's the only time this year or maybe for the next couple of years that I'm going to be able to go down to Disney. And I do want to do everything. I was in that mindset and my body shut me down and said, no, that's not going to work. But when I was able to go back and stop and, smell the roses, so to speak, it was more fun. But again, that's not an advantage or a possibility for everybody. I mean, Jay talked about Jeff coming down from Canada. I mean, that's a pretty big commitment. Be like to go from one country to another just to go to an amusement park.
Yeah, no, I get that. I really do. I don't know. Whenever we were going every 3 years, we went 3 years. I look back on those and how miserable we were during those trips. I don't know if it was fun. Like,
it was certainly fun. We were just wearing ourselves out.
Yeah, it was fun to do this stuff, but also like every day ended in somebody in the family crying.
Yeah, bringing Disney breakdowns.
And so I don't know. I mean, again, I totally get it. You don't come as much. You want to be able to experience everything, but also there's something to be said for slowing down.
I also want to say I'm not trying to judge people who are like
I am
excited about park hopping coming back. Like I do understand, like we all look at this thing differently. I also care about protecting the health of people and making sure that everybody can have a good time and experience the things that they want to do and not put themselves at risk.
If I'm being real right now, park hopping coming back, I would be fine with going to a park and then leaving at 2 and going over to Animal Kingdom because it should be pretty peaceful over there.
That's true, actually. And it might thin out.
I'd just chill at Nomad Lounge and ride Flight of Passage a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then call it a day.
Yeah, it's true.
So
it'll be interesting to see how they work, like with the park hopping, since the park has to have capacity. Like, are you going to be able to go onto My Disney Experience and see what the capacity is? Like, Epcot is open, come on over. Because it would suck to leave your park and then get over there and they're like, oh, sorry.
Too many.
Yeah.
And then you go back and it's like, oh, we're at capacity over here too. And you have to leave.
Right. That's true.
Yeah, that could really happen. Yeah, they're going to have to figure out something like when you do hop it too, it's like you're almost claiming like a day pass. So, and when you go to scan your Magic Band or your My Disney Experience app, it's like you already got your spot, so to say, saved.
Yeah. Yeah. Almost like you make a reservation. You're like, I'm going to park hop to Epcot, so reserve a spot for me. I'm on my way or something.
Ooh, that could really blow up in their faces if they don't do it that way.
Yes, they're going to have to figure something out.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's really all I had. People, I just want you to be safe. Listen, I'm your Disney dad.
No.
Live long and prosper.
That's a different thing.
Oh.
Be excellent
Isn't
to
that
each other.
Star Wars?
On a less serious, off-topic note, am I the only one who's ever been told that after you sneeze, the reason that we say bless you is because the devil's trying to crawl up your nose?
I have heard that. I've also heard it's your soul trying to escape your body.
Okay.
I've heard that if you sneeze with your eyes open, your eyeballs will pop out of your head.
Well, yeah, I've heard that one too.
Mythbusters proved that wrong. Mythbusters.
Okay.
I've done it.
Myths busted.
I also heard that when you sneeze, your heart stops for a second.
I've heard that too.
That's terrifying.
I told
the human
someone-
body, man. It's weird.
I don't remember who it was. I told someone that, and they were like, "That's ridiculous, McKenna. No one's ever heard of that before." And I'm like, "Oh,
I may have said that to you. I don't think I'd ever
I've
heard
heard it
that.
several times.
It wasn't from me, your Disney dad.
Well, I heard it on this one podcast about Disney, so it must be true.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think it's time to wrap it up for today. I feel like we've done a good job. We've run the gamut. We talked about Scrappy Doo. We talked about Steph Curry. We talked about mayonnaise, cold and hot.
We paid our respects to John Johnson.
We did pay our respects to John
We'll continue
Johnson.
to.
Man. And Baby
Gone but
Yoda.
never forgotten. He's always in our heart.
Rip John Johnson.
No one throws up as cute as Baby Yoda.
No.
I say
Man, we were all over the place.
I say we throw up some plugs. Landon, kick it off.
That was terrible. Landoz. Please go follow me, Landon. I'm the best. Landon, not the rest. That's where you can follow me 280 characters at a time on Twitter. I also run a website, buttmunchchips.com. Buttmunchchips.
Sit on your butt and munch.
Thanks, Satan. That's where you can find really old, outdated podcasts. In lieu of that, I would invite you to go to the iTunes store where you got this fine podcast and search for Near Fall Radio. It's a podcast on the sweet science of professional wrestling with me and Will Rabb. I've had an episode that I need to edit for a couple weeks. I just keep forgetting to until I get to plugs on other podcasts. So maybe I'll get around to doing that sooner rather than later. But I also appear on the Phil Show, News Talk 987 WOKI radio station locally here in Knoxville, Tennessee, streaming 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at newstalk987.com. Also available in the iHeartRadio app and the News Talk 987 app as well. I took a couple
That's a
days off
mouthful.
this past week. It was nice. I would say it's nice not getting up at 4 a.m, you know, in the middle of the night, but my body's trained to. So I got up at 4 a.m. in the middle of the night to not go to my job, which was weird. But anyway,
I bet you played
take vacation, everybody. It's nice.
I bet you played some PS5 in the early
Oh
morning
yeah,
hours.
that PS Quad, yo! I beat Spider-Man Miles Morales. That game was
Oh, wow.
awesome. There were some moments where I'm not gonna lie, there were some big manly tears shed at a couple moments. Like I'm not gonna get into spoilers or anything, but I love me that game. I unlocked the Spider-Man costume where he has Spider Cat in his backpack. So every now and then you'll be swinging around Brooklyn and then Spider Cat will pop his head out and he'll like bat his paws in the air and he has his own little Spider Cat mask on. It's fantastic. What I'm saying is
so
you need to
jealous.
get a PS5 just for Spider Cat.
That's cute.
And if that's not in the MCU, I am rioting.
I want that Spider-Verse suit.
Oh, dude, that
that's-
thing is so cool. And it comes with like an effect where you're swinging around and like the rest of the world around you is in 60 frames per second. But when you have that mod or whatever you want to call it equipped, the spider suit is going in 30 frames per second. So it feels like you're watching Into the Spider-Verse. It's fantastic.
It's the same
this game
animation.
rules, y'all. I'm a fan is what I'm saying. I'm a fan.
Fan.
I need to play that.
The man is a
do.
fan.
It's awesome.
Garrett.
Scaligummy on everywhere, on everything. It's spelled the same.
Skelligummy.
Kelegummy.
Skelligummy everywhere.
Yep.
Are you going to put out some holiday videos on YouTube?
Probably.
Nice. So
You kill the turkey.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, well, it was a suggestion.
I think plenty of other people will do that for you. So you might be good this year.
yeah, there will be enough turkey killing going around. Apologies to all the turkeys out there this week. It's a bad week for you.
Some of you may get pardoned.
Pardon my turkey.
I want to go out and just start pardoning turkeys.
Yeah.
I don't think you have that power.
I have
but
the power if I say I do.
All right. That's fine.
Only the president can pardon turkeys and criminals.
Yeah.
And some would say that they're the same thing. Wah, wah.
Criminals are a bunch of turkeys. They are. Golly, those turkeys. Put them in podcasting jail.
Oh, no, that's
Turkey
right.
Podcast. Turkey Podcast. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Disney Turkey Podcast.
Right. Well, we don't have a Disney turkey podcast to plug, but we do have a live show on Tuesday nights that we would love for you to check out. It's called the Parks and Monorail's Most Magical Hour Live. Of course, it features Frank and Jen from Theme Park Thursday with Dillo's Diz. It features Justin, Sam, and sometimes Landon from the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. And Steffers makes appearances. We're always hashtag waiting for Adam. Sometimes Drunk Stormtrooper shows up. It's
You can hashtag find Matt there.
You can hashtag
That's
find
true.
Matt.
Mhm.
You can play bingo. Steffer's made some bingo cards. If you join the family on Tuesday nights, 8:30 p.m. on the Dillo's Diz YouTube, or you can come to the Monday Morning Monorail family group on Facebook because it is simulcast there as well. You could ask for one of those bingo cards and play along and see if you get a bingo. You'll win nothing, but you could play anyway.
You can say that line from Inglourious Bastards. That's a bingo. That's your prize. You say it to yourself.
And you smile because that's nice.
That's nice.
We're at Morning Monorail on Twitter. We're Monday Morning Monorail everywhere else. Visit our website, mondaymorningmonorailpodcast.com. And we hope to hear from you on social media throughout the week. Talk to you on Tuesday, or maybe just see you back here next Monday morning. And until then, we hope you have a magical week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for riding with us today. We hope you enjoyed the journey, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, we want to hear from you. Send us questions, comments, and suggestions on Twitter at Morning Monorail. Our email address is mondaymorningmonorail@gmail.com. You can also call our voicemail at 407-917-2144. As we approach the station, gather your belongings and please watch your step as you exit.
See y'all real soon.
We can just put it on Garrett's voice.
I want
And when somebody comments, hey, was,
What's up?
It's
did you
me.
do something with your audio? No, we didn't do anything. Weird.
Hey, Garrett, how you doing today? Oh, that's fun.
Great.
It is fun, isn't it? We're having
Yeah.
a good time. As long as we say we're having a good time, that means we're having a good time.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how that works, yeah.
Why?
Dang it, technology.
Why?
Wow.
Why?
Wow.
I guess, yeah, you can always copy them. And
Yeah.
why? Well, hi.
It's a dinosaur.
Dino DNA.
I want to see that movie. That's a Christmas movie.
Sure. It's more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, record.